Throughout 2021, we've been polling the JustDisc community a variety of disc golf questions.
We started these polls to help stimulate a conversation and build a sense of community for JustDisc members.
Now, we expected to get a few hundred votes per poll, but we seriously underestimated the amount of input that we received.
So we decided to take the top 50 questions that we polled you guys in 2021.
And today on JustDisc, we're going to go through part 1 of this series, the first 25 of 50 polls, so that we can review the results with you.
And even if you didn't get a chance to answer some of these polls, you can still play along and see how you compare.
So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, question 1. Around what weight do you prefer your disc to be? And here I put not including putters, so just all around except for putters. What would you pick?
I mean, personally, I'd probably say about 165 to 170,
Yeah.
but I could be wrong because I know that you definitely like more max weight discs.
Yeah, except for those like really high speed ones, you know, like the Destroyers, the Wraiths and all that. Definitely like to be more around that 171. And we figured that out for you this year, right? It was about 165 is probably your sweet spot.
For sure.
Cool. So let's see what the results were. Okay.
All right. So I was wrong. 56% said 170 to 175, which it realistically does make sense, especially if this is, you know, guys more answering this poll.
Definitely more guys on JustDisc. Really cool to see this. Not a lot of people picking the 150 to 160 or the 160, 165. Really no surprise there. All right, question 2. What disc golf brand do you carry the most in your bag? So we have Innova, Discraft, Dynamic Disc, Discmania, and Latitude 64. Really the biggest disc golf brands.
Yeah, well, to me, I'd probably obviously say Innova just because it is kind of the most well-known, but I know Discraft is kind of taking over now.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I mean, I think I'm going to have to stick with Innova, but Discraft is probably going to be close second.
Yeah, I mean, they do dominate the market, but Discraft is getting up there. So is Dynamic Disc. Latitude 64 has been doing great things, and now Discmania has their own factory to produce their own discs, so that should be useful. Let's see what people put.
All right, and I was right. Surprise, surprise. Innova is number 1 at 56%.
Oh yeah, surprise, surprise. Discraft coming in second. Discmania and Latitude as well as Dynamic Disc, pretty similar, but they are definitely making moves. And you guys probably noticed only 614 votes. Why isn't it at 5,000? Well, this is the first few polls that we did, and very quickly you'll notice it ramps up. Okay, so let's move on to the next question.
Yeah,
all right,
let's do it.
Okay, question 3. What do you enjoy throwing the most? Putters, mid-ranges, fairway drivers, or distance drivers?
I'm going to have to go with probably... I think people are going to say distance drivers just because people love to
throw drive.
They just love to throw it and see how far they can get it. Personally, I would probably say fairway drivers are a little bit more of my preference because I know I can get it straighter and flatter a little bit more frequently, but I think people are going to say distance.
You think distance? Okay, I think you're probably right about that. Personally, I would say mid-ranges or fairway drivers, but let's see what people say. Okay, so
I was wrong in this one.
Yeah, there you go. Fairway drivers takes the cake, and I think it's just because you can still throw the disc far and get some distance but also be accurate.
Yeah, so people agreed with me what I would prefer to throw.
Okay, question 4. If you had to choose one disc golf etiquette rule that's often not followed, which one would it be? So what would you pick?
I would say probably my biggest pet peeve is when people don't let faster groups play through. There's nothing more annoying than having to sit and wait behind people and you're like looking at them, trying to get their attention, be like, hey guys, can we play through? Like, I don't want to sit here waiting for you to look for your discs.
Yeah, it's kind of baffling sometimes when you're behind a group, they see you behind them pretty much for like 4 or 5 holes and they still don't get the clue that you're going faster than them and they should just let you through.
Exactly.
So let's see.
I'd say probably that's
You think that's what people picked?
I think so.
Let's see.
All right, I was right. 40%.
40% hates. They hate that not being let through. What would be the second one? Ooh, taking care. Oh no, it's not taking care of
returning found discs.
Returning found discs. And you know what?
That is really annoying.
Yeah.
If there is a name and a number on the disc, you guys have to call. The other really important thing is to make sure that if there is a lost and found at the course, put it in the lost and found box.
Yeah, and it's actually coming up on one of our upcoming questions. We're going to be talking about returning found discs.
Okay,
so pretty cool. Interesting results.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so question 5 was a final poll. We've taken the top 5 voted players from the previous 3 polls to see who the JustDisc community likes the most. So we have Paul Ulibarri, Kevin Jones, Nate Sexton, Simon Lizotte, and Paul Macbeth. What do you think people picked?
Man, this is a tough one. Honestly, like any of the above could be chosen. I mean, Macbeth obviously, stands out as the most, but I feel like he's an obvious choice. So,
but you got to think of like who's popular with the people, right? Who connects with people better than others, and I think that might be the winner.
Yeah, well, based on that, I feel like you're giving me a little hint there. I'm feeling like it's going to be Nate Sexton.
The results. Okay.
I feel like it's going to be Nate just because, people love him and he's, great on Jomez. I mean, obviously Paul Ulibarri too, but I don't know.
Okay, let's see. Simon!
Oh, man, I was so wrong.
I know, Simon Lizotte.
Sorry, Simon.
I was kind of trying to hint at that because some of these polls I do remember, some of them I don't. So Simon, this guy's YouTube channel, really connects with the people, does well at that. Macbeth does well at connecting with people, but not as good as Simon. It's Simon's personality.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the way that he acts around people. He just grows a crowd. People just love to see him. Maybe it's just like his goofy personality or something like that. Paul's really serious. He's really good, but he's a little bit more serious than Simon, so that's probably why people pick Simon.
And then Simon, his YouTube channel, is just doing so well. So no surprise, Simon Lizotte. Next question. Question 6, now for the FPO division.
Yeah.
So the final results were Jennifer Allen, Haley King, Katrina Allen, Kristen Tatar, I think I said that right, and Paige Pierce. What do you think?
I mean, this one's a given. I mean,
Paige,
I feel like Paige just dominates everything.
Okay.
She is the best. She's the most well-known.
Who's your favorite, though?
I would say, though, my personal favorite is probably Kristen Tatar. I just love, like, her power and her personality. I mean, I follow all of them on...
She's attractive, too.
I mean, I follow them all on Instagram, and, I just really love kind of her story and things like that. But I would have to say probably Paige Pierce is going to win this one. Yeah,
I think Paige Pierce will win, too. Kristen Tatar is one of my favorite. I really like Haley King after this year. She's done some incredible performances, so I know she's gaining popularity. What do you know? 63% for Paige Pierce. Yeah, no surprise. Who was second, though? Haley King. Okay.
Oh, nice. Haley got second. That's good.
Katrina Allen.
I mean, she did win Worlds this
year. But maybe people just aren't as connected with her. I don't know.
I think it's just Paige is just so well known.
And she dominates.
She dominates, and she's just grown this game so much that I think that people are just going to pick her.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's move on to the next question. Okay, question 7. At what distance do you start to doubt yourself? So feel the pressure when putting. So when you start to be like, maybe I can't make this shot. Maybe I can't make this putt.
I would say
5 feet, 10 feet, 50, what do you think?
Like 5 feet, I mean, it depends on the day, right? Like,
I think we have to say we're okay with 5 feet.
Yeah, 5 feet. 10 feet is like, pushing it. I would say 15 feet is when I start to really start questioning myself.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's see the results.
Oh, all
okay,
right.
So 20 feet is the standard, and I would say, that does make sense.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, 15 feet was, very close behind with 33%. But yeah, 20 feet, that makes sense.
Maybe 5 feet on the windy days.
Yeah.
When there's wind. Oh man, is putting just ridiculously difficult. All right, question 8. How many discs do you carry? So we have 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, or as many as physically possible.
Well, I would say sometimes you're the as many as physically possible.
No. I max out at 24. That is the maximum. I will never go higher. I used to say that for 20. And now it's 20.
24. See what I mean? As many as physically possible. I'm sure if you had a bigger bag, you'd probably fit more in there.
Maybe, if it was light.
I would say probably for the majority of people, I would say probably 15 to 20.
That's a good guess.
I usually carry between 10 to 15, usually 10 to 12 at the most.
It depends. You're sometimes 5 to 10. You like having just less on.
Yeah, sometimes when I'm, feeling a little bit more tired or, I just want to concentrate on practicing with certain discs, I can carry like 5 to 10 only. Yeah. But I would say the majority are probably 15 to 20.
15 to 20? Okay, let's take a look. What do we got?
Yeah,
15 to 20. Yeah, you were right.
Yeah, 30% of the people said 15 to 20.
It sounds pretty common. A lot of disc golf bags, too, like not on the higher end, tend to store about 15 to 20, so it makes sense. At least comfortably, yeah. And how many for as many as 5%?
5%.
So some people are kind of like me, although I'm the 20 to 25. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Question 9. What's the farthest you can throw consistently? Now, I was hesitant about this question because a lot of people like to exaggerate, and we like to call it internet distance. I can throw 400 feet, but you really can't.
Yeah.
Anyways, how far can you throw?
For me, consistently is probably between 250 to 300.
I'd say that's right. Yeah, you're right. I've seen you throw 300. That's when you kind of get more maxed out.
Yeah, definitely. When I'm maxed out, when it's hot out, you know, temperature really affects. I would say for people answering this question, if they were answering honestly, maybe 3 to 350, but I have a feeling people are going to say 350 to 400.
It depends. We'll see. We'll see. I myself, honestly, I would say between 3 to 350. 350 with a forehand, more 3 for the backhand. But yeah, let's see what people say.
All right, I was wrong.
Yeah, 250, 300 feet is the standard, and that makes sense for the community of JustDisc. A lot of beginners to intermediate players. And
at least we don't have a lot of liars.
No, we don't have a lot of liars. We have 5% who said 400 plus feet.
Which is impressive.
Which is impressive. All right, next question. Question 10. What is the best part of your game? So backhand, forehand, approach, putting, or scrambling?
I would say, at least personally, I would say approach shots. Definitely not forehand. That is something that I need to work on.
For myself, it'd be putting. Check out those putting videos if you haven't already. But let's see those results. Let's see what we got.
Oh.
So backhand shots I'm actually surprised. I actually thought it would be approach shots or even just scrambling.
But approach shots was a close second with 28% compared to 33, which was backhand. So, you know, it wasn't far off at least.
8% for putting.
Yeah.
So some of you need to, check out.
Work on your putting.
You gotta work on your putting. Check out some of those videos. Okay, next question. Question 11. How many aces do you have? And I actually put the option none. Thanks for asking. And we have 1 to 5, 5 to 10. There's sometimes a lot of people who have a ton of aces. It also depends on the courses that you play.
It's true.
Like there's a lot of really short courses, so sometimes it's easier to get a whole bunch of aces compared to like a pro course.
Yeah, I would say probably most people are probably 1 to 5.
You think 1 to 5? No, none.
So.
Thanks for asking.
I don't know. I hear a lot of people getting aces, so I feel like it's going to be 1 to 5.
All right, let's see.
Oh, well, at least you guys can join me.
61%. Yeah.
Yeah, 61% said none, thanks for asking. So join me, join the club.
If you guys didn't notice, look at the votes now. Look at the votes. 5.9 votes. They're at that 6K range, so a lot of people voting on these, and it's really interesting to see. Okay, next question. Question 12. On average, when you go out to play disc golf, how many rounds do you play? And I ask this question because disc golf doesn't take that long. Usually like an hour to an hour and a half, so sometimes you can play 2, 3. What do you play usually? I
would say, middle of the summer, we play at least 2 rounds. That's what I feel comfortable with. I find sometimes after that I get a little too tired. I'm not like Jan who can play like 10 rounds in a day.
Yeah, he's the guy in some of our videos, the how we play disc golf.
Yeah.
Myself, I'd say around 2 to 3. 1 is usually in the wintertime when it's a little colder.
Yeah, definitely. Or sometimes just 9 holes. So I'm going to say 2 is probably the average.
All right, let's see. So we have 1 as a standard. And I notice as well from a lot of the community posts, we have some older players who play. And so maybe sometimes 1 round is enough. I'm an addict, please help me, 3%. So there's some people who just can't stop playing. We know those people. Jan. Okay, next question.
All right, next.
Question 13. Aside from Jomez Pro, which YouTube channel provides the best disc golf coverage? So we put the Disc Golf Pro Tour, the Central Coast Disc Golf GK, Par Save, and Gatekeeper Media. What do you think?
I would say probably Gatekeeper is probably the answer that people are going to say, although I do have to say and give props to GK Pro because they do so much FPO footage, which I appreciate so much. I love watching the ladies.
A lot of people also like GK Pros, the OTB skins matches where they're kind of conversing, kind of like we're doing right now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So that's a hard one. I'm going to say, I think I'm going to go with my gut and say Gatekeeper.
You're going to go Gatekeeper. I love GK Pro or Gatekeeper Media myself personally. So let's see.
They're all good, but
they're all good. Par Save doesn't produce a lot on a frequent basis, so probably not them, but let's see.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay, so we got GK Pro.
Man, I suck at these.
Well, it's either GK Pro, in my opinion, it was either GK Pro or Gatekeeper Media. They've really been pushing both of them. Okay, let's move to the next one. Question 14. You released a new video today called Should You Buy a Disc Golf Starter Set? And it got us thinking, when you started getting into disc golf, did you buy or use a starter set? So there were different options here. Yes, I used a starter set. The second option, I wanted a starter set but couldn't find one. No, I didn't want a starter set. set, or I didn't know starter sets existed, which applies to some of those older players.
Yeah, I mean, even for us, we didn't even know that starter sets existed. We started off with a destroyer and a boss.
A boss, yeah.
You know, silly choices.
No idea. You just go based on the look, right?
Probably the answer would be no, I didn't want a starter set because people like to kind of pick and choose exactly what they want.
Okay.
But I have a feeling that people are going to say no.
Okay, I literally forget this poll completely. I'm going to say I didn't know starter sets existed. That's going to be my guess.
All right, let's see.
Take a look. What do we have?
Oh, wow.
So yes, I used a starter set.
50% of people use a starter
I
set.
know.
That's impressive.
It is pretty impressive, and I think maybe it's just the onslaught of new players that
That's
have come
true.
into the game
That is
because
true.
of COVID. There's been a lot of growth, and
That
a lot
is
of people
true.
recommend starter sets so you just don't get confused. So that's really cool to see. Okay, next question.
Yeah.
All right, question 15, very simple one. Although against the rules, if your disc lands on top of the basket, do you think it should count? What's your opinion?
I mean, honestly...
Be careful. People get heated about it.
I know.
They get
I
so
would
mad.
say it's so hard to try to actually land it on the top of the basket, and the fact that it very rarely happens, that I think, yeah, it should count.
You think it should count? Okay.
I mean, maybe not in tournaments and that kind of stuff, but like if I'm playing with my friends, I'm gonna say, screw that. It counts. It's in.
The only drawback, if it counted, would maybe it would change the way people putt and such, and would just kind of ruin the game, make it easier. I don't know though. They probably
true.
tested that.
You do make a good
I still
point.
think it should count because again, it rarely happens,
So
and you're
rare.
not going to try and get it on top when you can just shove it into the chain. It's
Yeah,
not going to be
exactly.
advantageous to do
So
that.
I'll
but-
say yes.
Okay, let's see what people put.
Wrong
So-
again.
I know, but it's pretty close though,
It
right?
is.
Like 44% say yes, 56 say no. Not really much to say. Some
Yeah.
people want it,
What do you
some
guys
people
think?
don't. Yeah, what do you think? Let us know. Comments below. Okay, next question. Question 16. What is your favorite shot type in disc golf? So this was hard because there's only 5
Right.
spots. So what's your favorite? What's your favorite?
I would say probably flex shot or S shot is probably my favorite.
Yeah, I
I
love
find I
S
can
shots.
get the most distance in those kinds of shots. And I'd probably say that most people like that. Either that or hyzer flip or straight
A
shot.
straight shot, I know.
One of those two.
People like to throw the disc straight. We'll see. Spike hyzer is just everybody can kind of do that when you're new because that's the way the disc wants to
Yeah.
go most of the time. All right, let's see. Okay, so yeah,
All right.
hyzer flip, straight shot, 50%, and the flex shot, S shot, 32%.
So that came in second.
Same in second. Not
So
too
I
bad.
was pretty spot on.
I'd say that's my favorite as well. I'd definitely say that was my favorite.
Yeah.
Thumber, tomahawk, 5%. A lot of people don't know how to do those shots. Future videos for sure. All right, question 17. What is your favorite color to bag? Pretty interesting. So it was hard, only 5 spots. Had to kind of bunch similar colors. Yellow, orange, red, pink, purple, blue, green, teal, or white and black.
I mean, I know for me, I always tend to go for like the teal color or the mint color discs.
Yeah, you
I've
like
had
that mint color, yeah.
so many in that color that now I'm really trying to go away from that. But I would say most people would probably pick the red pink.
The red
option.
pink, yeah, a lot of people like pink because it's the easiest to see.
Well, that's the thing. It's
Doesn't
the
mean it's
easiest
always
to
their
find.
favorite color though. Okay, let's see what the results
see
were.
what the results were.
Okay,
Okay.
red and pink, purple and blue, pretty much tied. The purple blue just moving up just
Just
a
a tiny
touch
bit.
ahead. So
Yeah.
that was kind of what I like. Personally, I also like white, but it dirties
Yeah.
quickly. But there's
It
nothing
does.
better than a great white disc, especially
Just
for dying.
Just not in the snow.
Yeah, and black. Oh man, black. I've tried black.
No.
It's so hard to see, even if you're using a putter.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely
anyways,
not black.
cool results. Let's go to the next question.
Yeah. Next question.
Okay, question 18. What is the color of the best disc you throw? So this doesn't have to do with your favorite color.
Right.
The best disc that you have, what
Right.
color is it? So what is yours?
Well, mine is my Mystère. Obviously, it's still my number one, and it is purple.
Myself, what is the best disc would be my Cayman, I would say.
Yeah, that's pink.
Probably the pink Cayman is my best. Doesn't necessarily mean it's my favorite color, but yeah,
All right,
let's see
I'm
what
gonna
people
say
said.
purple blue. You're gonna say red pink.
Okay, yeah. What do we
Oh,
got?
interesting.
So yeah, red, pink, yellow, orange, very similar. Yellow and orange actually take the lead.
Just a smidge.
Take the lead,
Yeah.
and
a little bit.
perhaps it's because it's usually just very vibrant and bright. People gravitate towards buying those type. Who knows?
Very interesting.
Interesting though,
results.
yeah. All right, question 19. Which of the following disc golf brands are you least familiar or experienced with? And I actually had to do some research on some of these. So we have the Yukon, Viking Disc. I think I said Yukon right, hopefully.
I think so.
Legacy Disc, Millennium Golf Disc, and Pro Discus. There are others, of course. There's a ton of just disc golf brands out there.
Yeah.
Which one are you least familiar with? All of them.
I mean, based on this, I have never seen Pro Discus before. I think I've seen
think
pretty
I
much
have,
the
yeah.
other ones, but that's probably the one that I'm least familiar with, just in terms of its name.
Okay.
What about you?
For me, well, I did have to research some of these.
Yeah.
So I already heard Pro Discus, Millennium Legacy, Viking. It was the Yukon.
Yes.
Yukon, yeah.
I guess when
I'm
we went
least
to our
familiar.
local store was where I saw it first.
Yeah, and I did research them a bit. They do come from China, so it's just interesting. We'll see what people said. Yeah, Yukon.
Okay.
Yukon. People are not familiar with it at all, but they did have them at the True North Disc Golf store in Brantford.
Yeah, they did.
And so I did get a look at it. Seems like any other disc from a disc golf company. Okay, next question. Question 20. What is your favorite time of year to play disc golf? Spring, summer, fall, winter. Obviously, it depends on where you are in the world. Maybe your winters aren't as bad, or maybe your summers aren't as bad.
For sure,
Depends,
for sure.
but-
Spring is great, but it can be really muddy, so I
Excited to
don't
get
love
out.
that. But it is kind of like the first time we really get to go out. We're probably the most excited to play it then.
Yeah.
But I would have to say summer is probably my favorite because I just find it's just the weather's beautiful, the courses are in peak conditions.
It's more consistent too,
It
that you
is.
can get out and play. So I'd pick summer as well. Let's see what they chose.
Yeah. Oh, fall.
People choose in fall.
I do see that.
Beautiful.
Fall is such a beautiful time of year, especially here in Canada. The bugs are starting to, lessen by this point, which is a big deal. And the weather is, not as hot. I know that in the summer it can be really hot and hard to play, especially more than one round.
Yeah.
So I can
There you go.
understand why people would say
46%.
fall.
Cool. All right, next question.
Yeah.
Question 21. What's your favorite way to return a disc? So I was telling you
Okay.
about this before. Call number and hide it and leave it somewhere, I think is a pretty common way to do it
That's
these days,
true.
like under a garbage can. Anyways, let's see what people chose.
Yeah.
So 31% call number to arrange a time to meet.
Interesting. I'm surprised. I mean, probably maybe it's because there's not a lot of drop boxes at the course.
No, but then 25% said keep the disc for good luck since it doesn't have a name. It's not good luck.
No.
We didn't want you to pick that
It was
one.
a joke. I
That
mean,
was a joke.
maybe that's what people are doing. They're saying it as a joke.
As a joke.
Hopefully.
Always try to return it. There are so many different ways.
Definitely.
All right, next question. Question 22. How many putters speeds 1 to 3 do you carry? So it ranges from 1 to 5 plus.
I'm gonna say 3 or 4.
Okay. Myself, yeah, I think 5 plus. I think 2 pigs, 2 bergs, 2 putter. I actually have 6. I think
Yeah.
6 total.
Yeah.
But we'll see what people put. Let's take a look. So
Right.
3 to 4. You're right.
I was right.
Yeah, for putters, which again, it's always good to not just have one putter as like your main go-to. It's nice to have 2, one maybe more overstable and the other less overstable, just so that you can kind of play with that a little bit.
For
to
sure.
kind of
And
boost
especially if, you're not feeling one of your putters one
Yeah.
day, you can always use
Sometimes
your
it's
other
nice just to switch, just for that mental boost.
Definitely.
All right, let's go to the next question. Question number 23. Pretty much the same question, but now we're talking about mid-ranges, speed 4 to 5.
So again, I'm probably gonna say about 3 to 4.
Yeah, people typically carry less of these. I'm still 5 plus. I got like 2 Caymans, 2 Rock 3s.
Yeah.
It goes on,
Exactly.
but yeah, let's see what people picked. So 3 for this one. 5.5 votes though. A lot of people voting on this.
Definitely.
But still 3. That's enough.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
Next question. Question 24. Now we're just looking at fairway drivers.
Right.
Speed 6 to 9. It can vary depending on brands, but yeah. What do you think? I think people have more of these, most likely.
Yeah, probably people have more of these.
People like speed.
I mean, I'm surprised that people are only carrying 3, putters and 3 mid-ranges. I thought those might be a little bit higher. But I think that for our last question, distance drivers, people are going to have votes to those. 'Cause,
Okay.
those are fun to throw.
Okay,
Whoa!
yeah, there you go. It's like a staircase,
I was
basically.
completely wrong.
Yeah, 5 plus, yeah.
fairway drivers. That's a lot.
People tend to buy a lot of fast speed discs when they don't need that many.
That's true.
And I think more people can benefit from more putters and mid-ranges.
That's true.
But to each their own. Question 25 for this part 1 series. How many distance drivers now? Speeds 10 to 14. You think people are going to go 5 plus?
I'm going to say 5 plus.
Yeah.
Because I know for me, I usually have 4 or 5 in my
Yeah,
bag
you tend to
at
have a
one
lot.
time.
All right, 5 plus
I
for
was
the
right
distance
again.
drivers. It makes sense. People tend to get too many distance drivers because they're always trying to get more distance.
But I do understand because there are so many different shot types that you might need different distance drivers for. So it does make sense. But 5 plus, that is quite a lot. Especially if you already have 5 plus fairway drivers too.
That's true. All right, well, that sums up the 25 of 50 best JustDisc polls from this year.
Now, we know there's going to be a lot of opinions on some of these topics, so please don't be shy and let us know in the comments below.
Now, if you enjoy our content and like this video, Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any JustDisc content. And if you want even more exclusive content like monthly giveaways and name recognition, please consider joining our list of growing patrons.
And thank you so much to those who have already joined. We greatly appreciate you and your generosity.
Thanks for watching JustDisc, and please stay tuned for part 2 of this interesting series. Merci beaucoup et à bientôt.